Table topics, huh? That's what I get for not answering your request for the comments on the time. Okay. So, what do I like to do to chill out? Recently, I had this recipe that came to me, and it's actually doing 200 grams of tomatoes with 400 grams of watermelon. I said, that sounds absolutely awful. But I thought I tried it and I actually liked it, so that's my weird way to cool off now. So, today, let's start with Chloe's speech. Wobble is amazing. So, as you talked about the aspect of standing on one foot and then getting more and more unstable, and your teacher said, wobble is amazing. But actually, at that point you said wobbling is amazing, and I think that would have been the correct grammar for your speech title. Wobbling is amazing, okay? Also, pronunciation. I know the downward dog, okay? And then I couldn't understand what was the plane. Then I realized, it's the plank. So when we communicate, especially keywords that are important to our speech, to enunciate them very clearly, put the K on the plank, okay? So even, I think a lot of native Chinese speakers would call it planka, all right? But make sure that you enunciate very clearly main vocabulary that's important to your speech. You were also what I call the word of the day champion. You used the word of the day the most of anybody that I counted. I think I had 8 times. So congratulations on that for helping us chill. Okay, another thing that was great was that Chloe pulled a pun. She walked into the room and smelled something, a new smell. It was cinnamon. Again, pronunciation, to enunciate very clearly. And then she said, that really spiced up the class. Okay, for most of us that just went right over our heads, but congratulations on a brilliant usage of pun, because cinnamon is a spice and you use that to spice up the class in your yoga. I would like to agree with Paul on this matter of twinkle in the eye. I think usually when you talk about a twinkle in the eye, it has an element of love, usually. A twinkle in the eye between the guy and the girl, okay? Also, I think that you can look at different people, okay? As I look out in the audience, I feel like there are people that do have a twinkle in their eye. It's their outlook. You can just see it, something that radiates from within. And that I believe is something that we should all try to do in our facial expression, in our engagement as the audience even. That twinkle in the eye, communicating with the speaker. You are communicating to me. I'm getting it, okay? So I like that aspect of the twinkle in the eye. I also, again, would echo Paul on the metaphor of putting the fish on the table or under the table. Paul usually talked about the fish that was on top of the table. I want to talk about the fish on the underside of the table. Because this metaphor was quite deep. It was profound with a very simple example, but she said, I didn't leave my fish under the table to just start stinking later on. And I think this is a valuable life lesson with very simple words, that in our lives, to freely share from our experiences, to teach, to help people, that we can enrich someone else through what we've done, instead of just always hiding it there. Maybe you don't want to give someone else another competitive advantage, so you keep the secret to yourself. But you know, when you do that, all it does, it starts to stink. Okay? And so Christ even gave us an example that with our talents, he gave one person 1 talent, another person 5 talents, another person 10 talents. The one with the more talents went and invested and made a big return, but the one that had the 1 talent just buried it in the ground. And the master was very upset with that person, just to hide it under the table until it stank to the master. You talked about you have no idea how to manage the club. I'm a newbie. Okay, different things like that could express this. For Tim, just a quick thing, a suggestion, when you talk about what kind of water were you? You could have added, besides warm, cool, and hot, bubbly, scented, fruit flavored, flute. So anyway, make that, broaden it a little bit, make it a little bit easier for those that are answering the tabletops. And with that, I would like to conclude.